Yo, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to another video and welcome to episode 1 of my brand new series, Longboarding for Beginners Guide, episode 1. So in this series, I'm going to be taking you guys on a step-by-step guide through multiple episodes on how to begin longboarding from the very basics all the way to learning advanced and intermediate tricks and being really good at longboarding. Let's begin episode 1. Okay, so the first thing I want to quick mention on and talk a little bit about would be the different styles of boards you can actually buy. So if you haven't actually gotten your first board yet and you're still thinking of which kind to get, let me quick give you the rundown. So right here I have a top mounted board. The trucks are mounted on the bottom, the top is flush. There's also a drop through deck where the trucks are mounted through holes in the deck that come up through the top. There's also drop down decks, and this is where it's mounted like this one where the trucks are on the bottom, but the deck caves downwards where your feet sit. There's a bunch of variations in the top mounts categories, so there's pintail, there's cruiser shape, there's dual tail, there's symmetrical, and all kinds of stuff like that, and they're all geared towards different things. But aside from just the boards, there are different types of boards for different categories, which you should be aware of, so do a little research on your own, figure out what's best for you. I have a bunch of videos on the channel talking about different types of decks, different types of styles and stuff like that you can check out if you want to know more about that. For this video's purposes and for a lot of them, I'm going to be using this deck. This is the Zenith Catnip 3.0. I do have a review video out on that you can check out. It's a great board and it's meant more for freestyle and tricks with a little bit of dancing mixed in there as well. Alright, so if you're a beginner, the one thing you also need to absolutely have is a skate tool just like this boy right here. This thing is going to allow you to adjust every single bolt on your board and be able to do any kind of maintenance that you must do in order to maintain your setup. So all of these parts come together and you can use your skate tool to adjust and to assemble your board. So every different spot on the skate tool works for a different type of bolt, and it works universally for all types of skateboards. So one tool for every different type of bolt and situation that you may need. Okay, so the next thing that we need to determine for you guys, once you have your board and it all set up, is we need to figure out which foot is going to be your front foot if you don't already know this. Now, there's a couple different methods you can do to figure this out, but some easy ones that you can do are, think about if you were sprinting in a race and you're going to be in your sprinting box ready to go, which foot do you have out in front to push forward? Whichever one that is, that's most likely your dominant foot. Another way you can do this is if you're standing and you have somebody shove you a little bit unintentionally, whichever foot you stumble forward with first is usually your dominant front foot. And additionally, you can just kind of feel it out and feel which one works best for you. So for me, my front foot is my right foot. So it goes on the front of the board and I take off. Alright, the next thing we're going to cover is the stance of the board. So now that you know what foot you ride with on the front, how do you actually stand on the thing? So let me show you guys my foot placement. Alright you guys, so here's my board and this is my front foot. This is my dominant right foot. So what I'm going to do when I'm standing on the board is I'm going to have it angled a little bit, but pretty much perpendicular to the board like this. And it's going to be right in front of the front trucks. And then my back foot is going to kind of sit just like this. And I'm going to adjust the feet depending on how I'm riding. So when I'm cruising and moving forward, I want my feet to be perpendicular to the board like this so that it's easy for me to turn. More on that in future lessons. And when I'm pushing, I want to be able to slide my front foot like this so that it's parallel with the board, and then move my back foot off to push, and then I can slide back on and get back in that stance. Okay, so once you have your stance pretty much figured out, looking something like this, a really good way to practice with your board without having to get any movement at all is to get on your board and put it on some grass. It's going to help you feel out where the stance is, and you can even practice your carving a little bit by rocking back and forth on your toes and your heels. This is a great step, and I would highly recommend practicing like this a little bit before moving to concrete when you're first starting out, because it's going to help you get your bearings set. So you can stand on it, move it around, you can practice pivoting a little bit and pretend like you're pushing with your back foot, and then switch back on, figure out your weight distribution and what's comfortable. And we'll talk more about this stuff in the future videos, but this is a good first step when you're first starting out, just to gain a little bit more confidence than you would otherwise not have. Alrighty guys, and those are the very basics of learning how to longboard, or how to ride any board for that matter. So that's going to be it for the new instruction for this video. Get out there, practice what I learned, get comfortable standing on that board, turning a little bit and shifting your feet around and feeling it out just like that. And get ready for next week's video, which is going to be episode 2, and we're going to talk about how to start riding your board. So I'm going to go over stance, pushing positions, weight distribution, body movement, and all of that fun stuff. So if you're ready to see that video, give this one a like, subscribe so you won't miss the next one, and I'm gonna catch y'all on episode 2. Thanks for watching Longboarding for Beginners Guide, episode 1. Peace.